The Art of Not Breaking. Kisses, Scent, and Ice. Author's note. This began as a way of remembering the gentler moments with my mother, and while it still holds those truths, became a record of how comfort endures by changing form. I learned early that distance counted. Some comforts worked only if you were close enough to touch. At school drop-off, I was in third grade, and the car felt like the last safe room. Snow pressed in on the edges of the world, the kind of morning where sound is muffled and breath hangs. I didn't want to leave the car. Not because of the cold. Because of what waited. Before opening the door, I asked for the ritual. 3 kisses. They came swift, soft, and playful, almost practiced, but full of affection. She seemed to understand that the number counted. Sometimes, after the 3, I'd ask again, urgent now, because time counted too. 3 more kisses. Please. More often than not, she obliged. Okay, once more. Sometimes twice, when the urgency felt unbearable. A small mercy before the door opened and the cold rushed in. My moon boots sank into the snow at the edge of the sidewalk, where the plow had piled it on. The school loomed. I didn't want to leave the car. I didn't want to face the terrors, the ridicule, the humiliation, the way adults misunderstood and missed what was actually happening. That was how I learned. The child stayed in the car, but the creature carried her through the door. Before anything was taken, I witnessed it being destroyed, not just a physical object, but the fantasy itself, shattered in front of me. By the trees, where years later yellow ribbons would be tied for hostages, far from the other children, winter made a wonderland. Thin ice formed in pockets, each one holding a cool bubble sealed beneath the surface. I was light enough to glide over them, mittened hands outstretched, gently playful. No longer at school, but inside the small, suspended joy. In my head, I wasn't a child at recess. I was a professional ice skater, my costume perfect. Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy playing clearly in my head. Birds chirping in time. Then he appeared from behind me, from the right. A boy who dwarfed me like a biblical giant. The birds ceased their chirping. With him came his shorter companion. A lackey. The hostility swirled around them like a dark brown aura. They said something. I responded honestly, because that was the rule I knew. They mocked me for playing. Then came the relentless stomping. Every ice pocket. One by one. Cracking. Shattering. Laughter. I wasn't heartbroken, not exactly. There was something colder than heartbreak. I told with great feeling, and when he got in trouble, I felt relief. Justice, even briefly. But it didn't bring the ice back. It didn't restore the trees, the grass peeking through, the music, the birds. The feeling that the world could be delicate and still survive. Later, distance became something else entirely. Touch no longer worked. Ritual didn't reach that far. My maternal grandmother had made a purse for me by hand. It was fancy to me, even if it wasn't considered fashionable by my peers, wooden handles, round, denim, with a strawberry applique. Everything hand, and machine sewn with love by Grandy. It was mine. Inside were small, important things, including my mother's bandana. Mom was having an emergency hysterectomy because of bubbly things on her ovaries. I knew what that meant. I knew something serious was happening inside her body, and that she was far away when I needed her most. I was 11. I was scared. The bandana she had worn smelled like her. I kept it to smell when I needed strength. That worked when kisses couldn't reach. I called it Mommy Mommy Smell. It helped my body remember she existed somewhere else and might come back. The meanies took the purse. That's what I called them, with a capital M and quotes in my head, because it was the truest representation of them that I had. After tearfully reporting the theft to those in authority, the purse was found in a garbage can. The contents intact. The bandana missing. It wasn't dirty. It wasn't damaged. It was gone. There was no fixing that. No replacement. No explanation that worked. No one cared. I had been deliberately hurt and they had gotten away with it. My 3 kisses, 3 more kisses thing didn't work like that. It couldn't cross space. It couldn't reach a hospital. The one physical comfort I had, the thing that made distance disappear, vanished while she was already out of reach. That's what the car was for. That's what the kisses were for. That's what mommy smell was for. That's why I'm drawn to the musical genre of metalcore. Not to scare the dark away, but to give it a shape that could protect the child inside.